Cool beans. Alrighty. Okay. So I guess let me just start off with date. The date today is April 2nd, 2020. Again, my name is Miguel Castellanos. I am doing an assignment for history. Essentially, what I am doing is pretty much just documenting the whole COVID-19 crisis,
Hmm.
coronavirus here. Not just here in Denton, Texas, but I'm trying to reach it out more world, like try to reach it out throughout the United States. I'm trying to contact people and all that stuff, but that's essentially what I'm trying to do is make a primary source. So whoever wants to study this crisis, at least they'll have these videos to look at and like see people's expressions and
Hmm.
what other people were essentially feeling or what they were doing. I guess first off, like, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. I can't complain. And
Okay,
you?
I'm pretty good, ma'am. I'm pretty good. Just my family and I were here. We're here on campus, so we're doing the best we can. So we're essentially using the parking lot as our gym. But other than that, like we just walk around campus a lot. So campus is really
Hmm.
empty. It's really really empty.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it.
But
Everywhere is empty.
yes, it is. Um, I guess my first question for you is how has this COVID-19, the coronavirus crisis, how has it affected you?
How has it affected me?
Yes, ma'am.
I guess in regards to work, it's been a challenge working from home just because in my field I have to meet the needs of families and I have student staff that need jobs that have bills as well as my own, and trying to make sure I am still working, but trying to make sure everybody else that was under me are still working or provide resources for families. Is always going to be a challenge, but we're doing the best we can. Also, I have family members that have been under the weather. Like I have a cousin who I live with who has breast cancer, and so within the past 4 weeks, she's been having surgery. But with the COVID-19, the virus, and everything going on, hospitals have been really strict. So it's been a challenge just trying to, be at home and be a caregiver, but also work from home. But we make it work.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I guess like as regards to health, like you mentioned that your cousin had breast cancer. Like, what are some of the are some precautions that you are taking to make sure that she doesn't get sick or that nothing happens?
Well, since she just had at least two surgery procedures within the past 4 or 5 weeks, she still has to get out to have doctor's appointments every week, a couple times a week sometimes. So we have to stay covered and just constantly cleaning and just keeping our distance as much as possible, as opposed to going to the hospital. I don't know if that helps any, but
No, that's
um,
fine. Anything and everything helps. Yes. I guess.
yeah.
Okay. Now, I guess like I guess since you mentioned the hospital, like observation wise, what have you noticed or what have you seen while you were in the hospital or while you were going to get groceries or even just walking? What have you observed?
When we were in the hospital, the rules changed daily. Um, when we first went, they let anybody and everybody come in to visit, but they wanted to let you only go in one at a time. By the time by the time the next day, they was saying, okay, well, now only one person can come in, and that one person is the only person that can be there their whole stay. And I also have a cousin back at home who's in intensive care. They just put a trach in him yesterday, but they are now not letting anybody in to visit. So it's kind of hard when you have family members and you can't be there to support them and watch over the doctors and make sure that they are giving their best, to your family member.
Hmm.
It's
Okay.
hard.
Awesome. And as far as like, I guess, like on the street, like if you've gone to like when you go to the stores or like even just walking, like what have you observed? What have you seen other people do that differently than what I guess what we have called the norm?
Well, you see a lot more people walking around with masks and gloves on, to prevent themselves. But you do see a lot more people out walking the street, walking, just getting their exercise. You see when you go into the stores, there's less items on the shelves, which kind of make you have to go to 2 or 3 stores just to find bread and tissue and paper towel. But yeah.
Okay. Um, okay. As I guess. Oh man, I had another question. Um, I guess since you are working from home and you said that it's been difficult trying to get out resources, like how have you helped like I guess how are you helping out, like what like how are you trying to help the people, how are you trying to help the families essentially here in Lowry Woods or even any of the families that attend TWU, how have you been trying to help?
Was I try to do as much research as possible to see what type of resources that I think that will benefit the families as I come across them. I send them out to the families. We're also doing, in regards to the clubhouse, now doing virtual clubhouse
Okay.
where we meet with the kids Tuesday through Thursday from 3 to 4 and just do different activities with them. Yesterday we had a family on there who their mom was doing online classes as well. So she was in the other room on her laptop while the girls was in another room on their laptop doing activities with us. So I felt like that was the best we can do to try to help, in the situation that we're in.
Nice. Okay. Cool. I guess what kind of activities did you guys do, if you don't mind me asking?
No, no, and you guys are invited. I sent you the link as
Yes.
well. I'm
Yes,
not
ma'am.
sure if you got it, but one day we made homemade stamps, and we from different things that we found at home. Yesterday we did Clubhouse Jeopardy, and it just was a different questions. The kids got a chance to pick their questions and earn points, and it was questions from about the coronavirus. It was random questions. It was questions about animals. It was questions about um, clubhouse staff. It was just a variety of fun questions that we got to ask, and the kids got to answer, and we all just had a really good time.
Okay.
Some of the kids showed off their pets that they had at home, and it was fun.
Okay, awesome. I guess you said there, for your one of the Jeopardy questions, it was about the coronavirus.
Hmm.
I guess are you trying to explain to the kids like what the coronavirus is, like, or like how are you explaining how are you explaining to them what it is or how it affects people?
Believe it or not, some of the kids they know quite a bit about it, more than you probably think.
Okay.
But we just ask basic questions like during this quarantine, how far away do we distance ourselves from people, or how do you cough how do you cough? Do you cough in your hand? Do you cough in your arm? Do you just cough out without covering? Just different questions like that.
Okay, cool. Like just I guess
Just basic
like
questions.
basic hygiene questions. Okay. Oh, okay,
Hmm.
cool. Um, as far I guess as far as checking in on the other I guess the other staff members that are under you, how are they doing or how are they taking this whole quarantine?
Well, I think a lot of them was really struggling in regards to their new normal of online classes. Some of them were complaining that their teachers were giving them a lot more assignments than normal as opposed to being online now. And so that was a really challenge for them. And then with us with us not knowing what the clubhouse was going to do, some of them didn't know, do we stay in Denton? Do they, a lot of them live in Houston, should they go back to Houston? So just that was a challenge trying to figure out what's going to be our next move when we didn't know what our next move was. But I think they're getting in the habit of their new normal. And yesterday, after our Jeopardy thing, I heard some teachers say that was just, they enjoyed it and that was just what they needed. So that